everybody. 521, week number 4. We are here. This week we are talking about equity and socioeconomic status, and we're going to approach this in kind of two different ways, very different ways. As we look at this and we look at assistive technology, just AT tools, and we look at ways we can make our schools and our classrooms more accessible, it fits in with the big theme of this course really, really well. There it is, discussion board. You have 2 discussion board posts, so make sure you do 2 initial posts by Thursday, and then 4 total replies, 2 and 2, by the following Sunday. The second one looks at action in the form of compassion and how compassion shows up in our classroom. This connects with our School of Ed's broader mission around servant leadership. So if you see that and you're like, how does that fit? It's going to tie in a few different ways, in the ways that you see. The first discussion board post is using the CA school dashboard, CA for California, to look at your school, either that you work at or that's in a nearby neighborhood, maybe a past school you worked at, needs to be a public school, and see how that dashboard is, share your kind of reaction to it, how it honors and supports socioeconomically disadvantaged students. I looked at my last school because my current school is an independent school. My last school was interesting. I don't like when websites can reduce a student in a school to just numbers. That's what this does. So I take that with a grain of salt. It's like the red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Blue is good, red is bad, and looks at EL programs or emerging bilingual programs, language arts, math, suspension rate, and chronic absenteeism. I was surprised to see my last school was a red for chronic absenteeism, where I think 28% of the students are chronically absent. There's a lot to break down with that. It also, there's a lot, and it's not just school bad. It's let's look at the underlying causes of this. Is it health issues? How do we support that community? Is it them actually, because they're sick, they're staying home? Is it the parents are sick? The parents don't have reliable transportation? There's so many reasons why a student might be absent, and so I encourage you not to jump into kind of judgment stance, but really take a stance of curiosity and seeing kind of what you can learn from it and where maybe some blind spots might be with that California school dashboard. So those are your 2 discussion board posts. You actually don't have an assignment due this week, but there's a big one next week. You have a 3-day lesson plan. And for that, the one thing I want to give you is that these lesson plans aren't just kind of bullet points of what you would do and you've been teaching the same thing for 20 years. Think about it in terms of you're handing it to someone that's been substituting for a week. You are going to record them, and how well they execute the lesson plan is how well you are graded professionally on it, right? So it doesn't have to be like a verbatim script, 12 pages long, but it should have some significant detail that a non-educator could read it and really have a good mental image of what that lesson plan looks like. And it's going to be a 3-day lesson plan, so it's pretty significant amount of detail in that. You're also going to be using that template where it's going to be having assistive technology pieces plugged into it. And the goal is not for this just to be busy work. The goal is, if you are in a classroom, to actually teach this. You don't have to, but the goal is that you actually use this and take the time that you typically aren't able to take to really write a detailed, solid, thoughtful lesson plan that integrates a lot of what you're learning in EDUT 521. So that's what's coming up. I'll give you a few more details with that next week. Let me roll over the week 4 content page, make sure that is all. You're just going to continue reading the Dells chapters 8 and 9. That's all for this week. If you do have any questions, please reach out. Otherwise, looking forward to what you share in our discussion boards, and then seeing how that lesson plan plays out. Hopefully you're making some progress in that, and hopefully that California school dashboard is a useful resource and possibly a new resource for you.